And Vanessa, the reason why they look for convergence, which are trees essentially falling toward each other, is you think about when a storm is rotating, things are kind of falling on top of each other when you have debris and things like that being spun out. But with the downburst, it's like a big whoosh of wind that then pushes away. So that's why like they can know if it's pushing away, that means straight line winds versus if they're kind of toppling on top of each other. So we normally can see that on radar too, but it's always nice when we get kind of the confirmation from the NWS. So thankful, of course, that they took the time to come out because it can be quite a haul from Greenville.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we saw, like I felt like in prevalence last night, were the trees falling and snapping. In a lot of cases, the photos that we're getting from viewers at home, you knew that it was some sort of strong wind, whatever it was.
Yes, it definitely was. And also because we had so much rain last week, it kind of makes it easier, especially when you see the trees that are rooted and it's not just a snap. It makes it easier for them to
pull them
topple
up.
because now the soil is just looser. So it's not necessarily, doesn't mean that we wouldn't have had them, but it can just, they can be a little bit more widespread when we have recent rainfall. Here's some good news, at least on that front, is we don't have any storms and we don't have any more rain, really at least in the near term. Now, I know we still need some with the drought, but sometimes when we get a lot in a short period of time, you know, it's nice to get at least a couple of days due to break. Slightly cooler, a little bit more comfortable behind that system. More rain returns late this weekend, but if you've had it outside anytime recently, sky conditions have been pretty hazy due to wildfire smoke still getting picked up from Canada and then pulled down toward the south and east from the jet stream. Now, I don't anticipate this to cause major issues near the ground. I don't think the air quality alerts are going to be in effect the next few days, but you will likely see those hazy skies nonetheless. Temperatures today a little bit more comfortable, upper 80s, lower 90s. Dew point is still high. We're still in the 60 plus mark, but it's just not as high as it has been. 70 plus is the air you can wear. 75 plus is tropical moisture. So 64, again, relative for July standards, does feel much more comfortable. No rain to worry about right now, but we are going to be tracking a few spots of rain over the next couple of days. I would say tomorrow mostly dry, maybe a 20% chance on Friday, but really going to be a lot of clearing sky conditions, at least compared to where we were yesterday. By Saturday, things will start to increase in terms of rain and storms, and that's ahead of our next cold front. So I know we say this a lot, but everything truly is relative depending on how you look at it. Saturday, storms, great for those who still need rain because of the drought, which is most of the Carolinas. Maybe not as ideal when it happens on a weekend when folks have outdoor plans, but Saturday will not rain for the entirety of the day. Storms kind of pop off there just after lunchtime. And as of right now, I don't see a really strong signal that we'll see a lot of severe weather, but with heat and humidity, I would expect at least some of them could become strong. If you remember 2 weekends ago, we had some storms topple over trees in Conover, and those were actually because of winds barely reaching 40 miles an hour. So even if we don't technically reach that 58 mile per hour threshold, which is the threshold for a severe thunderstorm, we can still see wind damage with 40. So that's why we keep a very close eye on these storms, whether they technically reach severe criteria or not. Temps again, upper 80s, lower 90s the next couple of days. We'll see a drop in temperatures though by the end of the weekend. That's as that same cold front that brings the storm Saturday stalls across the region and brings multiple days of rain and cloud cover. Here's that Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. Again, you can see those increasing rain chances second half of the weekend. So certainly not bad by any stretch for Saturday, but not as wet as what we'll see on Sunday. Sunday, Monday look to be the wettest days of the week, and then we will dry out and see temperatures trend closer to average by this time next week.
All right, thank you so much, Brittany. Well, folks, you can dive deeper into our weather headlines tonight as Brittany takes over for Brad in the live weather impact stream. That will be at 6:30 right after this newscast. You can catch that on WCNC Charlotte streaming.